All right, Chicago, we are back. And our social media team has officially put out the thank you fans tweet, so you know that we have been bounced from the playoffs once again and once again to the Colorado Avalanche, and most notably to 90 overall second liner, solidified second liner, Lucas Reichel. Another disappointing season. I'm disappointed. You're disappointed. You can say there's a lot of good things to take away from this season, but at this point, we are cup or bust, so anything less than that is considered a failure. Now, as your general manager, of course, as I said before, a bit of a disappointing season. However, I'm going to guarantee you a cup from this group of core players, and if not, there will be significant changes to be made in the future. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, of course, to our NHL 23 Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. And we are here at the offseason once again. It is time to get to the draft. We are here in, was 2029? Yep, 2029. Colorado eliminates us once again. Of course, we had a bit of difficulty with Seattle. We were underestimating them, I would say, but we got it done in 6. We took care of St. Louis pretty easily, got that in a sweep, and then Colorado comes in and kicks our ass right in 5. So another gut punch for us. We can take a look at the player stats from the playoffs. Obviously, Connor Bedard has proven himself to be one of the best players in the league, and the playoffs, no shortage of that either. 20 points in 15 games, 11 goals. He had a hat trick in game number 5 in desperation, so nothing short from him. Alex DeBrincat has been reliable. He's been clutch, 9 goals and 20 points in 15 games. Great series for him. Martin Necas, 19 points. Catone, 18. All these guys had great production here in the playoffs. Caswell, 12 on the third line is great. Lenny had a bit of a slow start, but he started to pick it up at the end. Now, Timothy Leonov, this year was his big breakout year. He's only 21 years of age, but only 2 goals in 15 playoff games after coming off a season with 44 goals is a bit disappointing. But, of course, like I said, it was his second playoff appearance. Oh, okay, it's just, he had a game, so I'll consider it his second playoff appearance of his career. And he actually played pretty decently in his first, so considering his ice time. So we'll give him a bit of a break there, but definitely a little disappointing from him. De Silva, that fourth line, all of the fourth line was great. And then, that third line in itself just was not doing it for us. And then defensively, Shea Theodore on that second pair, still able to get us 8 points. In his probable final game as a Blackhawk was that Game 5 in Colorado. I would love to keep him around, but considering the salary and the players we need to re-sign, it's looking like it is the end of the road for him. Korchinski with 8 is decent. I was maybe expecting a little bit more after having 74 points in the regular season, but he was a +6. Him and Pellica were good, +6 and +7. They were our best pair, so I cannot complain. And then speaking of Pellica, he did pick up 5 points. Juracek and Morrow weren't great, but they were serviceable bottom pair. And then Kasparov here getting 2 points. That middle pair was interesting. Like Shea Theodore was a -2, but he had the most points as a defenseman. So, something to watch there. And then the biggest, the guy who made the biggest noise in the playoffs, I guess, on both ends, UC Saros. A great first 2 series from him. A couple of rough games in there, but overall great. But during the Colorado series, he was not spectacular at all. Went down from a .920 to a .914 save percentage. Game 5, he absolutely choked away for us. 3 goals against in the third period, because the empty netter obviously doesn't count towards him. So, but yeah, a bit of a disappointing performance in that conference finals. But I think he's proven himself enough. I will say I won't at least trade him at the draft. I think I am going to give him one more shot. And I really think that he might be our best bet in goal, because it's either going to be him or some random 80 overall goalie, but you don't even know if that's going to go well. So I really don't know. It's going to be a tough decision for us for sure. So let's go ahead and send it to the draft here. The finals will be between Tampa Bay and Colorado. And Tampa Bay, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. At least Reichel does not have a cup after that. Tampa Bay wins the Stanley Cup, and the Cleveland Monsters of the AHL win their Calder Cup. as we will get the draft lottery results. I don't believe we have a pick in here. Nope. Arizona with the draft lottery, but the winners of this draft lottery are definitely Montreal, jumping from 13 to 3, which and they are trying to move up in real life too. They're trying to trade for that second overall pick. We'll see if who has the. Oh yeah, the Ducks. Yeah, we'll see if they will do that for them. But I don't know. Adam Fantilli looks really good, so we'll see what the Ducks decide to do there. As oh, John Tavares retires a New York Islander, which is very interesting. I wonder how the fans will react to that. He's actually been there for 4 years, but that is hilarious. He's not even wearing number 91 anymore. But yeah, Johnny T retires as a New York Islander, where he started at. That would be a very interesting fan reaction for sure. Pavelski, former Blackhawks, so that's big news as well. Yeah, Pavelski was very serviceable for us. I'm not going to discredit him at all. And then Mika Zibanejad actually was able to get up to 1,000 career points at only age 36. Wow. Yeah, I mean, he looks like, yeah, he's an 85. He definitely could have had another year or two in him, but, he got his money. He just decided to call it quits. I respect it. Victor Hedman, one of the top defensemen from this decade, from this era. Jeff Skinner, JT Miller, so definitely a very solid retirement class. Alex Pietrangelo, now a 2-time Stanley Cup winner. Brock Nelson, Riley Smith, among others. And as far as goaltenders go, Darcy Kemper, Philip Grubauer, Phoenix Copley, David Riddick, and Laurent Brossoit, the notable names. And shout out to Colin Dealey, a former Blackhawk as well. So here are the coaching retirements as well, but we are not too concerned with that as we head to the draft here. Now, the first thing I want to check is any of the player growth. Now, the two people I'm looking for are Shea Theodore and Andre Kasparaitis, as well as guys like Leonov and Caswell. But those are the two I want to see, because if Theodore grows, we can maximize his trade value. And I really need to see some growth from Kasparaitis. I mean, he's been at an 83 for how long? So we'll go to forwards first. Bedard still on a 96. Lenny up to a 91, which is good to see. Natchez kept his 91. Catone at a 90. DeBrincat at a 90. And there it is. Timothy Leonov up to an 89 overall. So he is going to want to get paid, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. He's looking for about $10 million. So I don't even know if we're going to have enough to sign both of them, because Leonov was asking for crazy money when I last checked it. It was like $18 million. So we might have to trade one of these two, to be honest with you. That's going to be very interesting. So we'll have to wait and see there. Caswell is actually up to an 87 as well, which is good to see. He would also be ready for the second line. So that is another development, because we have 7 forwards who can play in the top 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean, I almost wonder if Lenny, he would be the odd guy out, I would think, right? Because, I mean, you could say DeBrincat because of his age and his contract expiring soon. So we're definitely going to qualify them both, or at least we'll sign Leonov and qualify Lenny, and then we'll decide in free agency what we're going to do. But that is going to be a tough decision. Nazar at an 85, Green 83, Porshkov 82, McAllister 80, and De Silva a 79. As Persaud actually is up to 78 as well. Was he in Flint again this year? Yeah, he was. And he dominated down there. So maybe he might even get a chance this year. We're going to have a lot of forwards for sure. So lots of big decisions on the forward core. Now, defensively, this is big. Kevin Korchinski. Wow, okay. Korchinski's up to 91, first of all. And, I mean, I know I'm skipping through players, but I see it right away. 83 still for Andre Kasparaitis. That is something. I mean, we got him locked up for 8 years on a pretty good contract. The only thing is, I don't want him to fizzle out. Yeah, he did have a down year, I guess. I don't want, I have a feeling he's going to stay at 83, and then when he turns 25 or 26, when he's about to lose his growth ability in terms of progression, he's going to go down to a low 4 right before that. And then he might just max out in 83, which is, I mean, it's not disappointing because he was a 4th-round pick, but given his potential and his X factors, I mean, maybe I'm to blame, push him to that second pair too early, but I thought maybe, with the ice time given, he can do something. But Shea Theodore is still an 87, so that tells me he's probably going to dip to an 85, 86 at least once we get to the regular season. So Yeah, we're definitely going to want to cash out on him, I think. And hopefully we can find a defenseman of similar value and similar overall, but on a cheaper contract. Even if it's like an ELC or something, we need something. Pelika is up to an 89, and yeah, obviously the big thing was Korchinski up to a 91, defining himself as a top 2 defenseman for sure. And then, yeah, the bottom pair, they both need to be re-signed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep either of those, but we'll have to see there. And then goaltenders, Saros still has that franchise potential, and he's at a 91. And then Kosa, we're definitely not going to be able to bring back because he wants like $5 million. We just do not have that amount of money. And I think I'm going to let Smith walk, to be honest. He hasn't been great for us as a backup. A 907, a 901. And then, yeah, in his playoff appearances, well, that was the AHL, but still, he hasn't been great either. So, yeah, I think I'll let Arthur Smith walk. We'll have to find a new backup goalie for us in free agency, but that shouldn't be a worry. So, yeah, I think we're going to have to trade Shea Theodore, though. Like I said, I think that is just going to happen. And I'll do the trade myself, most likely, just to see if I can find a defenseman on a cheaper contract. So, yeah, we can actually, before I forget, because I usually do, we can take a look at the awards. So, how many games did Tampa beat Colorado in, by the way? 5. Okay, so they took care of them pretty easily. But yeah, awards here, obviously we know Tampa and Colorado met in the Stanley Cup Final, and we also knew that we won the President's Trophy this year. So as far as individual awards, Connor McDavid with his third Art Ross in a row. And look at that, Connor Bedard was named the MVP of this year, and I think, honestly, his plus-minus had a lot to do with that. But yeah, so Connor Bedard, best player in the league this year. Yeah, I mean, at least we got some hardware, I guess, besides the President's Trophy. And look at that as well, Kevin Korchinski, the James Norris Memorial winner as well. So we had the top player and the top defenseman, according to the voters. Lady Byng went to Braden Point. Calder to some guy for the Rangers. Braden Point also with the Conn Smythe, so a great year for him. Vezina to Andre Vasilevsky, now on the Dallas Stars, as well as a William M. Jennings. Clevin for the, so Ottawa's coach, or no, this is Bill Masterton, what am I talking about? So Clevin for Ottawa wins the Bill Masterton. The coach for the second year of the row goes to Burroughs for Vegas. The Selke goes to Joel Eriksson-Ek, who we actually were considering trading for a few years ago. A swap for Newhook, but we instead picked up, why am I oh yeah, Saros, that's who we traded for. So, you could argue that was the wrong move, but then again, we did sign Nate Jess, who's been great for us. So, I don't think we made the wrong move in terms of getting a new second-line center. Bedard did also win the Ted Lindsay this year, so the players also thought he was the best player this year. And then, of course, Leon Draisaitl with the Rocket Richard. So, Connor Bedard, obviously a big year for him. It's good to see him get some recognition, as well as Korchinski winning the Norris. So, that is something to look positively on for this season. But we do have to enter the draft as of now. Buffalo willing to give up their 4th pick. Again, I'm not really looking for prospects at this point. We're already a built team. We're looking to contend right now. We really don't need some big-time prospect, down there. So, just because I'm curious, I want to see what if there is any offers for Shea Theodore. Yeah, he doesn't have an incredible amount of trade value, but definitely good enough to get us a decent player back. So let's look to trade here. We can see what teams are interested in him. I would assume at least some would be, especially a contending team. And then I also want to look at some of our prospects because I do have to keep an eye out for them anyway. These are all NHL players. So Petit, oh, that's right. He's also going to be ready for this year. So we're going to want to get him signed. We're definitely going to have to give him time. So that is going to be interesting how we're going to decide our top or even our bottom 6. Because we have a ton of young players that are ready for that spot. Like, Porshkov was on the 4th line. Petit, obviously, is ready. McAllister, De Silva, Persaud could be ready. So there's about 5 or 6 guys, 2, 3, 4, 5, that we're going to have to pick between, And I know Porshkov is a free agent this year, and we're going to re-sign him just because of his value, but he might be the odd guy out based on potential and everything like that, because these guys have X factors. McAllister, yeah, he does have 1, but he is a center, so that helps him out a bit. So yeah, we're gonna have to definitely keep an eye out for that as well. But anyway, we are here to trade Shea Theodore at the moment. And I did not mean to click that. Right up here, Shea Theodore. So let's see if there's any teams interested in. We got Arizona, Buffalo. Yeah, there's some teams. And obviously, I want to trade to an Eastern Conference team no matter what, because Lucas Reichel coming back to haunt us did not help. And I don't really want a team that has cap restrictions, because we're trying to shed cap ourselves, and it looks like every Eastern Conference team is in need of cap. Okay, New Jersey can afford him. Let's see what New Jersey is working with. They have a 1-2 punch of Nemec and Hughes, which is lethal. Doesn't look like they have a guy in the salary range that we need and the overall range. So New Jersey is out. And none of these teams can afford him. Pittsburgh might be able to if we get the right guy. Okay. Will Sharp. This guy was taken 9th overall in 2025. I'm going to let Arizona do their pick real quick. And there they go. The first overall pick this year, Christian Raymond, an 83 out of the draft. He is a sniper with snipe, magnetic, close quarters, make it snappy, and relentless. So definitely a very good pick from the Coyotes there. But if we take a look at Will Sharp here from the Penguins, 88 overall already at 22. He's got some X factors, two-way defender. This guy might be perfect for us, honestly. And does Shea Theodore's value add up? That is league approved. Yeah, that is a good trade for us. So we will keep an eye out for that. Tampa Bay could also afford him with the right player. But they don't have nobody in the cards. It looks like Rinzel, actually a former Blackhawk there. Toronto, same thing. Not really anybody that we're looking for. Actually, who was that third player? I know Sharp. Yeah, I'd rather go for Sharp at that point. Vancouver cannot afford him. And they're in the West, so I don't want to target him. All right, so it's looking like Will Sharp is the guy to go after here from Pittsburgh. He can play both the left and the right-hand side, which is good. X factors include Yoink, which is interesting for a defenseman, but he also has Shrug It Off, Quick Pick, Off the Rush, and Thunderclap. So definitely a great defenseman there. Now that's going to be really interesting when his contract is up. But yeah, at least for this year, we can sign all of our guys. And, I mean, this year would be the best year for it, because then we're going to have to decide between... Let's say we sign, we can probably sign one of them long-term, talking Leonov and Lenny. And then let's say we get the other one on just a one-year deal. Sharp's going to have 1 year left after for this upcoming season. Then we're going to have to choose between those two to sign. So, yeah, we might be able to put all of our chips on the table for this year. But, yeah, either way, this year and next year, we're going to have very interesting decisions. So, I don't think this will go through, but 1-for-1 Shea Theodore for Will Sharp. Will it go through? No, it does not. So, not surprised there. Thankfully for us, we have a ton of assets that we could give away here. Not going to give up Petit, definitely not. And they don't really want... I mean, I can add... I don't plan... I mean, Jurasek, we're probably not going to be able to sign regardless. And he does have some value here, so we can add him. So, Theodore and Jurasek for Will Sharp. Will that go through? Nope. But we are getting close. I would add the rights tomorrow, but then they're going to be like, well, we already have this for one need. How about Arthur Smith's rights? We're not going to sign him either. Okay, I think that actually hurt the value there. So I'd be willing to give up a pick in this, or a few at that. How about a 4th and a 5th? Can we add that on? Will that go through? Still no. I can add a 3rd. I'll give you 89. Wait, did we have 94? Is that what I saw? Yeah, we'll try 94 first. Still no. Okay, how about a 3rd and a 5th? Fuck, I was about to pick. Nope. I'll let the Wild pick. This is very annoying that this still isn't fixed. There you go. Wild makes their pick, a defenseman. Now I have to go back and put everything back. Definitely something to fix for next year, EA. Please make it more convenient for us. As we'll add in Sharp. They do have, that's right, they have Draisaitl, who just won the Rocket Richard. So we had Theodore in there. We had... I know we had the other defenseman, Jurasek. And... let's try 2/3. See if that will go through. Still no. They are not budging here. How about if they should be interested in a third from next year? Yep. Let's try that and a fourth. Still no. Okay. It's taking us a bit to get sharper. How about a second? Will that go through? No. Holy hell. Second and 2/3, because you're probably going to say no to one anyway. Still no. Holy hell, Pittsburgh. Alright, so somebody that they're not interested in that we can trade. We could just go with this Julkinen guy. He is the worst out of the medium elites. I honestly would not mind moving on from him. This is a lot to give up value-wise. So I am going to add in some picks if I can. They don't have a second. They have a couple thirds and a fourth. I can pick Horde here. So Theodore and Julkinen for Sharp, 2/3 and a fourth. Will that go through? No. Alright, 2/3. No. And how about just a third? Holy hell, you guys are being stingy. I mean, he's a good defenseman, but... Alright, that still isn't going to go through. Then I'll add in that third from next year that you guys want. I mean, I'm just throwing shit at the wall at this point. I don't even know... Oh yeah, I can add back in, what's his name again? You're a sec, yep. Still no, god damn, Pittsburgh. I mean, it makes sense, but shit. And the third there. Is he, like, worsening the value, or, like, because they don't want him? He has a lot of trade value. You would think it would help. Oh my god, dude. Anything I offer to them, they're just, nope. Alright, I don't think Julkinen is helping us at all in this trade. I guess I wouldn't mind moving our first. I mean, this is a lot, but... I mean, Theodore is aging, though, so it's not like he's... has incredible vet. So this is kind of realistic anyway. Let's try that. Okay. We're kind of closer. Let me try that third from next year. Maybe that'll go through. Okay, there we go. Sweeten the value just a touch. Holy hell. So we will finally find the trade to bring in Will Sharp. Is a 7th good? Yep. Alright, so... thankfully, right before Montreal picked, this is getting annoying. So we were able to trade Shea Theodore in exchange for Will Sharp. There was other assets, of course, involved, but those two being the main ones. I guess our first round pick is kind of relevant, but... where is he? Is he up here more? Yep, so Will Sharp is added to this defensive core. Hopefully, he can help us for this year, and if we do decide to bring him back in years to come as well. So, I mean, we have a bunch of young talent at, like... look, I mean, look at the ages. We're looking great for the future, but... honestly, what is the future if you can't do anything in the present? If... that wasn't as smooth as I thought it was, but... let's get up to our pick here. This draft isn't... I mean, we still want to, obviously, pick the best guys we can. This guy might have some X factors. But yeah, this guy supposedly is a gem. He's got X factors. He's probably a little 6, if we're being honest. Let me just sort by potential here to see if there's any steals. So there is a medium elite defenseman. There's actually 2 of them. Well, not defensemen, but 2 medium elite players. So do we have a pick before, like, in the 90s, or I can get both of these guys? 89, perfect. All right. So we are going to scoop both of these guys up if we can. Is there any low elites, by the way? There's a guy, 3-bar, he could be. A couple of them, actually, but... yeah, this guy is ranked first, Sergei Markov. We will select him first. A 52 overall medium elite at 19. We're just building that prospect pool for some... honestly, just for trade assets at this point. And then the other guy should still be here, right? Yep, there he is. Rollison, a left wing playmaker, 51 overall at 19. So definitely some projects, but I will take the value indeed. And then... where are we at? 94. We could... honestly, I just might take these two and then just sim it, because... Alright, he is low elite. Kuhlman, 49 overall. And then we'll get the other one there. Cavalier has 3 bars of low elite, and he is also. Alright, beautiful. So I'll just let the AI draft the other guys as we add some more depth to our prospect pool. So a pretty successful draft, all things considered. And it's time to get to the re-sign stage, which is where we're going to have to make some big, big decisions here. So we have $19.5 million to work with here. And of course, the two big expiring contracts being Lenny and Leonov. So let's see what their final asking price is. Yeah, Lenny wants to get paid a lot. And yeah, so does Leonov. Unfortunately for us, so does Leonov. And we could have had him, if we would have signed him maybe a week earlier, we could have had him for about $3 million. Which is very unfortunate to look back on. But, I mean, with all the great contracts we have in this team, we can't be too upset. So... Now, if we were to qualify both of these guys, I mean, you can maybe look at Kasparaitis to be moved, but again, oh man, this is tough. I mean, obviously Saros is in the hot seat. I would want to give him another chance because we have 7 forwards anyway. We might need to trade one of them. We honestly might need to trade one of these two. Or at least a forward. So Bedard, we know we're keeping. Catone, we know we're keeping. I would say Natchez we would have to keep. He's been too good. DeBrincat would make the most sense logically to trade in terms of age, value, and contract coming up, stuff like that. But he's been so good for us, it really does not make sense for us to trade him. So that's 4. Caswell is on too good of a contract. He stays. So it is literally between the two who are RFAs. And honestly, Leonov having 44 goals might be too good to pass up. The only thing is, Lenny is a right wing. But we could theoretically move Caswell to center, although he only has 61 face-offs. But, or someone just plays off wing. I mean, that would be our only bet. Really? Alright, well let me first of all, let me qualify both of them. Make sure I do that. I'm not paying him 13.5, that's, or near that, that's too much. I mean, I'll give him his request here. We can go 4 years and still have RFA rights if we really wanted to. And we'd give him like, I don't know. Maybe we just give him the 5 years so we don't have to change it too much. I feel like that might go through 11.75, which, I mean, is a lot of money, but it's not like he doesn't deserve it after that year. But of course, a part of that line was Lenny, who had 73 points respectively. He also does hit and he has a good takeaway giveaway ratio. Let's see, Lenny here. He also hits a decent amount, but gives away the puck a little bit more. But 44 goals is just, I mean... And then, yeah, like I said, Caswell had 50 points on that third line this year. He looks like he's ready for the second line. So... Man, I'm honestly stumped. I wish I can keep both of these guys. But then you start to look at DeBrincat again with his age and his contract. I know he's been good, but do we put the keys in the hands of these young guys? Because I mean, paying them like $12 million isn't too far off of DeBrincat, so they're making about the same. And then if you trade DeBrincat, that opens up the possibility of signing Kasparaitis, or not Kasparaitis, Will Sharp next year. I mean, who else is up next year? Is there anybody besides Sharp who is up after next year? There's Green, but he is replaceable, if I'm being honest. First of all, Roos, if you want to... no, I can't do that. Petit, we have to sign. Let me get that in there. The master for the AHL, just kind of taking care of the other stuff while we think here. Severson's up to a 74 at 20. That's pretty good growth from him. He could play in the AHL this year. Hayes, we need some people to play in the AHL. And I might sign, excuse me, I might sign some depth for the AHL this year to give them a shot. Although, this might be our depth that we're signing right now. Moen is there as well. Jukin, we didn't decide to trade him yet. So maybe he can prove us wrong there. And then goaltending-wise, we know we're going to get rid of Smith and Kosa because we can't afford either of them. We could qualify. We could really... we could qualify him, see if he gets an offer, and then if not, if he just accepts the qualifying offer, we can have our backup there, but... yeah. We'll sign Galchenyuk as well for the AHL. And that still leaves us with this decision in hand, as all these guys should sign, and that they do. So that puts us down to 17 million somehow, even though we only signed two-way deals. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, that's something there, I guess. But regardless, I mean, we have enough to sign at least one of them. We know that. We know that. Leading off 11-6, and then what is... yeah, 12. Yeah, I mean, it might have to be DeBrincat. Given his term, his age, as much as I hate to do this a lot, he is up next year. So I think I'll keep them both qualified. I won't sign them yet. We'll wait till the start of free agency. But the only thing is, if a team offers one of them, then we have to match whatever they offer. And what is compensation? Yeah, I don't think they're going to get 13.5, but we would get this year's three first-round picks and next year's first. So a first, second, and third for this year and a first. Which, I don't know if that would be worth it for one of them, to be honest. It would have to be that next 4 years of first-round picks for it to be worth it, but Lenny isn't quite asking enough for that. Oh, man. Alright, well, I'm not going to sign them because if I need to trade DeBrincat. So let's get our scouts and everything re-signed real quick. Let's take care of our other dirty work for this year. All of our coaches are good. So we'll get our scouts back. They have been absolutely phenomenal for us. An underrated part of this dynasty we're hoping to build, this core. And getting these young guys in the lineup and on our team. So there is that. And then, yeah, the other thing we have to worry about is that fourth line. The bottom six in general, because if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll say we traded one of them, right? So then you have 7, and he's definitely a third liner. Green, I think, has to be on the third line. And Porshkov, oh, we do have to re-sign Porshkov before I forget as well. Who isn't asking for a lot, but... I mean, yeah, we'll sign him for now. If we need to trade him, we will. Yeah, like, we'll see if he accepts that. Let me advance it here. Yeah, he does accept. All right, beautiful. So, and then we have, 7, 8, 9 for now. 10, 11, 12. Oh, maybe we can work it out. But obviously, it would be assuming we trade one of these top guys. So let me see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then Persaud, yeah, I mean, I guess that could work. That definitely could work, but, yeah, okay. And then how many forwards do we have for the AHL as of this moment? Starting from Persaud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like 9 because I think these guys are overlapping once I go down here, right? Like Severson, Hayes, yeah. I think we already, yeah. Okay, so we have about 9 forwards, so we just would need to sign a few guys there. And then defensively, Morrow we're not going to bring back. Yeah, definitely not. Holy fuck, dude, get off the team. And then Roos, I mean, it's not a bad contract, but I mean, I'm going to need all the money I can get right now. So he is definitely replaceable. We're going to let him walk, I think, right? I mean, that is a pretty good contract, but he didn't do too well when he played, right? Well, yeah, without Seth Jones, that is, yes. So we're gonna get rid of him. And we already know our goalie situation, yeah. So, the rest of that is interesting. So yeah, let's get up to free agency here. Again, we still have to make that big decision. One that I'm not gonna like, probably, no matter what we do. But, yeah. You can't, unfortunately, keep every player that you'd like. So, available free agents. Adam Fox is a free agent. He wants $15 million. Which is crazy, but he probably does deserve it. Maybe. I mean, 44 points, I would definitely not pay $50 million for that. Bowen Byram is here. Jake Sanderson is here as an RFA. Lucas Raymond is available. Novak, obviously Lenny from us. Cole Caulfield out here as well. Brett Eklund, Higgins. How about just UFAs? What are we looking at? Obviously Fox, Byram, Raymond, Caulfield. A very stacked free agency class. We're starting to have a lot of parity in this league. A lot of guys getting up there in overall. And then RFAs, we know Lenny. We know... he'll be down here in a second. Leonov. Yeah, and I had a feeling they would... Okay. So short term, he's not asking for as much anymore, which is a good thing. And honestly, that long-term contract isn't bad. What is Lenny looking for? He still wants that $12 million. I might be able to get him for like a 1 year. Imagine okay, if I sign Lenny, let's say I get him for 1 year, right? Let's say I can get him for like 9.5. No, we still don't have enough money, do we? We need to clear like $2 or $3 million in cap there, and we don't really have that to clear unless we traded a guy like Kasparaitis or Nazar. But I don't know. Is it worth to trade one of them to get them back for a year? Because then Sharp is going to be up next year, and somebody's going to have to go at that point. And either way, for this year, we already have 7 forwards for that top 6. So it's like we need to move somebody no matter what. So that's going to be the big question. And honestly, I want to get your guys' feedback if there is any. So I think I'll leave that there for now. And this resign stage did take us a minute anyways. So we're going to probably leave it here at free agency. Of course, there are some options for us out there as well. Let me look at defensemen, because we are going to need at least a bottom pair. And yeah, Roos might have been the cheapest guy anyway, but we can probably find somebody. I mean, there's guys down here for $1 million that we can try out. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for us goalie-wise. Look who's available. Yaroslav Askarov. And, yeah, he still didn't have a good playoff run in Colorado. So, I'm still not mad that we targeted Saros, per se, yet, right? So, there is that, too. Of course, we still have Kosa retained for now. We don't know what's going to happen with that necessarily, but... If this team's interested, I'm going to guess that's us, though, yeah. So, there is also that to watch. So, yeah, a lot of questions for us to be answered going into next season for the next episode. But, yeah, that's going to be for next episode, I guess. So, thank you guys so much for watching another video from the series. It's been great so far. Support's been great. I've had a lot of fun recording these videos. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed, let me know down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the last one. Link will be in the description if you did miss that. And as always, guys, you guys take care.